for sure. So make sure you turn your phone to do not disturb.
That might be difficult because I have some deals coming in.
Oh,
But
so
I need to be present.
You're
But
just gonna take the call in the middle. You're just sorry.
I might have to do that.
So that's, I mean, let's start there. Let's talk. First of all, thanks for joining. You know, I love you so much. And it was fun to have you last week, but you were running all over the place. And so now we have you at your house. We can talk to you about everything that's changed because it's changing so quickly for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's changing for us all, right? It just kind of hit us out of left field. It's not like, this isn't like 2006 and the bubble and the dot-com crash.
Yeah.
This isn't like, 2008 the mortgage prime business, going down. This is unprecedented. So, it's a watershed moment for us because we're kind of this. This isn't because of the housing market crash or the
Right.
totally. Obviously. So, I mean, February we had our best year ever in real estate in Southern California or in the nation. It was up 8% in February. Okay. And it's remarkable. And then all of a sudden, March 13th, we were all still going to restaurants and hanging out. And then boom, just progressively slapped us in the face. And, in the crash, it was the gross domestic product. The GDP was down 10%, and now it's down 30%.
Oh my God.
So that it's going to have an effect, but we don't know what's going to happen after this all plays out. My prediction is that when people get back to work and they start making money, because there's such a stranglehold on the demand, on the inventory, we're still like really low inventory all over, especially in California, that I think that it's going to go right back. It's going to go back up. So I think that's what's going to happen. I think now is the time. If you do have any cash reserves to try to buy something, interest rates are super low, obviously.
Right.
But the problem is that people have lost their jobs. It's very sad, and it's very demoralizing. And I think that they, it's hard to find cash because everyone's just kind of, hoarding cash, right?
Well, that reminds me of a question. Like, and if you guys at home have a question for Ben, just in the bottom, you can ask a question and we'll see it and we'll ask Ben and try and get your questions answered. But my question to you is, did you see wealthy people shifting and putting their money in real estate? Because I know the high end is still hot right now, or it feels hot.
Well, yes. I mean, ultra high net worth people tend to, have money, and they have money stored. Depends. Although I do know a lot of people that are very heavy in the stock market, and they've gotten crushed. So they're holding tight and they're pulling it at escrows. But there's a lot of people that with cash that are taking advantage of the market, and they're definitely coming in, 20, sometimes 30% less than what we were asking before. But I think we talked about this last time. There was a lot of aspirational pricing in the market before. So it's almost like it's come back to like reality, and like the prices like got real in the luxury market. There's not as much pent up demand as there is in the lower end of the market from 1 to 3 million. Mm-hmm. So I think, that the luxury market is probably going to stay at this level when we get out of it. And the lower end, it's going to take a little longer to resuscitate itself as people, get their jobs back. But again, it's that, the fact that we're down, the GDP is down 30%, millions of Americans are out of a job. It's going to be harder for them to buy those houses for a couple million bucks.
But then you see these sales. Like, tell us about this sale that you sold just yesterday. It hit dirt. $9 million in LA. Was that in the works already?
That was in the works. It sold a little bit ago, but that was cool. It's a gentleman who was in the cannabis industry, and it's a very fruitful industry to be in right now. Obviously, people are still at home, getting relaxed,
It's
whatever.
deemed a medical necessity.
Medicine for the soul, I guess,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But
it's
more
a
than that,
medical necessity. They're fucking booming right now.
so yeah, that was a cool sale. Beautiful house in the Birch Streets. It's an area that I focus in, Hollywood Hills and Bel Air, Beverly Hills, and so forth.
But was
But
this a new
I'm busy
listing
today.
or?
I'm actually showing property today. Today's a busy day. I got a showing at 1. I got a showing at 2. I got a showing at 3:45.
I don't think you're supposed to tell people that.
No, you're allowed. It's an essential. We've been deemed an essential part of
Yes.
business. So
Yes, you're right.
we just have to be careful. But
Okay.
we
Well, so how are you
unequivocally.
going to be careful at your showings today? Are you going to like hazmat suit it?
No, we're supposed to wear masks,
Mhm.
but there's people are saying we should wear masks. We shouldn't wear masks because it's you can fumble and touch yourself. So as long as you should be wearing masks if people are coughing around you, I think. But definitely wear gloves and stay away. Virtual showings are great. I think the more we learn to become virtual,
Yes.
we'll start to get used to this, and more transactions will start happening. And as we flatten the curve out, right?
Right. Well, we've got another sale today. I just wanted to get your opinion on it with David Beckham and Victoria Beckham in Miami at 1,000. Did you ever see the 1,000 Museum building when you were in Miami?
I did. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty
Zaha Hadid
cool.
is pretty awesome.
So they bought an entire floor unit, 10,000 square feet for $24 million. But again, they were looking at it last summer, it said.
Yeah, I don't think they're too affected. They're probably looking at it at 40 million, and they got it for 24 million.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm seeing happening these days. Something in Bel Air is 68 million, and now it's 45. And my client's like, I would have bought that for 45.
Exactly.
So now I'm showing them properties that are like 40s, and they're willing to make offers in the 20s.
And you said that in an interview in the Wall Street Journal recently. You said that if people are looking, now's the time to get like 25% off. Do you still think that's true?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's no harm in trying to. I mean, it depends people's what people's bank accounts are like, right? Or where they're out of financial. I asked the seller, I'm like, you're asking 32 million or 33 million, whatever, and I'm like, are you going to come off your number? And he's like, no. So
Wow.
you,
Oh,
yeah, you never know.
so we've got a question. Someone asked, is it best to target investors in this time? Diamond Keys Real Estate.
It's best to target, yeah, if you have investors, and you can match them with a property that is, I mean, investors, it's just like 2008. Investors loved the foreclosures, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're hoping that that's not going to happen, a rush of foreclosures, because that will then bring down the market after this, substantially after it closes. But right now, it's not like 2008 again. There's Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, the government is prepared for this to happen. Even they've now put a memorandum on evictions in California and in New York. So if you have a Fannie Mae or Freddie Mae loan, you could stop paying. If you ask them, they can help you with your mortgage relief. So it's a good time to really, you know what is a good time for you? It's a good time for you to make connections with your future clients. So whether that's offering support and just asking them how they are, connecting with them. I think I said this before, a lot of agents are like, hunkering down and like, I don't know, they just feel like they can't do anything. They feel paralyzed. But it's really an awesome time, maybe when the vast majority of people are thinking this way, you can shift your mentality and get out there and connect with people. Pick up the phone and actually call them. There's no better time to do that.
I was meditating this morning with Oprah and Deepak Chopra, and she said, this time is challenge presents a great opportunity for growth, and you can actually grow through the change. So I think sending your client something in the mail is really effective. If you have their address, send them something, even if it's small, a board game, a candle, you know, I don't know, a ring light for these Instagram lives. Anything you can do to just say hi in that way would be great.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about your listings because this is a digital caravan.
Okay.
The first one is coming up. It is actually, tell us about this property. What I love about this property, 940 Stradella, is it's right below the one, another society property, but it's like a mid-century hidden in the hills. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's actually a cool. When I first came to see it and I met the seller, I was like, wow, this house, because he's selling it as a development opportunity because it's over 2 acres and you could build almost an 18,000 square foot house that would ostensibly be worth 45 million in today's market, I would predict, right?
Wow.
And so he was asking like 18, 15, 14, and now we're asking 899. We're definitely open to serious, in this climate, we're open to any serious offers. And the view is really cool. It's the downtown, and you get mid city, and in this picture you see all of the Santa Monica Mountains in front of you there, and that it's a nice flat pad. So it's a very long driveway. Literally, you can touch the $500 million home. God knows what's that going to sell for these days.
That's my client.
It's your client. Yeah, I wish Niall the best. He's awesome, and he only deserves something great to happen to him. He's a good guy. So yeah, I think that is a really cool opportunity. It's a long private driveway, and you could build 17,000 square feet, and it's flat, and it's got a big view, and it's right underneath. So you could see. I don't know if you can see the long driveway. It's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't pull the long driveway photo, but it does have a long driveway. It does have, but I don't. Why develop?
I would almost remodel this. I mean, so many cool opportunities. You could remodel this, add another 10,000 square feet below it. Although it's, sometimes it's easier just to scratch it and build something awesome and make. I mean, there's no better place. I mean, you're going to be into the property. Call it, and construction prices are coming down. It's also a great time to build. So for an investor, someone asked before, buy that and buy this property for, call it 8 million, and invest another 10, and you're selling it for 40. I mean, it could sell for a lot more. I'm being very conservative. And then
it's a beautiful mid-century though. Like you could also live in it while you remodel it. It's not a teardown.
Well, you can't live in something while you're remodeling, but you can live in it while you get plans and permits, right?
Right.
Yeah, so that you could do, and you can enjoy it and have a year. I think that's exactly the move. You can rent this house for probably $20,000 a month.
Yeah.
So it could probably pay for itself with your very low interest rate. We also have the one next door for sale, which is 940 Stradella. I don't know if you have those pictures too.
I thought this was 940 Stradella.
No, so that's 960, and then beside it is 940. So we have another. We have another. It's in your. But it's okay. You didn't pull it up. But we have another over 2 acre property right beside it. It's $6 million, and you could build 17,000 square feet. Or you could tear down both, and you could probably build a big 30,000 square foot house.
Wow! So you could buy both lots and join them.
You could have 4 acres, and you can join them, and you could have the most expensive home right behind you for 500 million, and it'll look like a deal.
4 acres in Bel Air? That's insane.
Yeah, you take a buyer next. I sold a house once for 40 million because I took him to a house for like 150 million in Bel Air, and then I brought him back to the other house for 40, and he's like, this seems like a good deal, and he bought it. So I envisioned a similar thing happening.
All right, time for another question. We've got Tina Whittaker. How would you suggest getting started in a new market if you move to a new state? What would you recommend?
So I talk about this in my course, the real estate, what's it called? The Rainmaker's Hustle.
Rainmaker's Hustle, everyone.
Yeah, you can get it. You can go to benbacal.com. You can buy that. But I'll give away one of the tips that I talk about this specifically. When you move into a new area, the first thing obviously you need to know is all the inventory. So go to all the open houses, make the MLS your Bible and learn about all the properties, find out, it's all public records, who owns what, really know all the price per square foot. Then I would, obviously you got to get out there and get the inventory. So get out there and connect with people. Either you're going to be cold calling and telling people that, well, before you do that, you want to actually talk to people in your office, ask them if they have any, what their buyer needs are. Then you can go prospecting and tell those potential sellers, expireds, new construction that you have a buyer looking for the property. And then what I would suggest is teaming up with a top agent, perhaps like myself. And I would be happy to come with you to any of your listing appointments and help you close that listing and split that deal fairly down the middle with you. And then you're going to build your reputation, and you're going to keep them rinse and repeat, and you'll become a success if you just be diligent and you work your butt off.
Rainmaker's hustle. Okay, well, let's talk about your other listing. I actually walked this listing with you, and I remember the moment we saw it, I fell in love. So tell us about 1883 Rising Glen. This is the front door with the beautiful slat wood. Why is this property so special?
Well, this is one of the best deals. Jason asked me what's one of the best deals on and off market. I think this is one of the best deals that's off market, because it's just a super cool architectural. He bought it actually in the fives, put a couple million in, and it's totally turnkey. So at 7,395, you'd be hard pressed to buy that and have such a beautiful execution. It was done. The owner designed it with Oslo Construction. There's one of my favorite design build teams in Los Angeles. You love them, right?
Amazing.
And it's just a very warm, contemporary. It's got that James Peirce meets like standard LA architecture, like you'd see in like those stores, right? It's very cool. That wood siding is gorgeous. It's organic and warm and contemporary, and it's on an amazing street of Rising Glen. It's at a dead end street, so it's super quiet. It's got big views. It's turnkey. You could probably rent this house for $35,000 a month. It's a good investment, and he wants to sell, and it's super private. So
it's so private, but the finishes, like the silver travertine, the bar, it just feels like a mid-century remodel that is done so perfectly. Everything in this house is gorgeous, from the stone to the wood to the bathrooms. Look at this kitchen.
Like, and it's under $1,500 a foot. I think
under $1,500 a foot. That is insane. In the Sunset Hills, in the Hollywood Hills.
In the Hollywood Hills, it's right next to the Burr Streets. Rising Glen's becoming a very formative street. So good place to be.
When I show people this house, we were going to do an event there before COVID hit. And when I show people this house, they gag, they die over it. I think it is the best price, best deal on the market right now. Okay, we've got another. So that's 1883 Rising Glen. Are you showing that one right now, Ben?
I am. I'm hopefully supposed to have a showing tomorrow, but yes. I'll do a virtual tour with you.
I would love that. I mean, it's my favorite house on the market. So if you have 7 million or you have a buyer, this is the property. So let's take one more question. See here. Question. What's your favorite client and worst client? Story time. I don't know if you can answer that, Tina. So we're going to go to, how did you get started in the industry?
How did you get started?
What was your first sale ever? Let's do first sale ever.
It was in Venice Beach.
Interesting.
And yeah, it was in Venice Beach. And then I worked for a top producer in Marina Del Rey, Sandy Barons, and that was cool. She taught me how to door knock, really. So yeah, she taught me to door knock, and I got out there and I was door knocking with her for about 2 months. And it was kind of funny because I remember doing that and getting like immediately, it was like 2007, right before the crash, and literally you could like people are writing offers on the top of their car. They're giving loans out to people that work at Burger King, and I would sell things in a minute. So I got really excited, and I ended up giving her like 75% of my commission. So I looked at that. I'm like, wait, I did all this. All I got to do is get out there and hustle and get a deal and sell it. I'm going to do this myself. So I left her, and the rest was history. And I remember the next deal I did. I found an off market for 600 grand on where was it? It was on like Sixth Street in Oakwood, and it was a little dicey that back then. There was like at night, I was door knocking at like 7, and then when I started hearing gunshots, I was like, okay, I should probably go home now. Literally, in Venice, that's what it was like. It wasn't as like gentrified as it is today, but
And
they
now
had
today you own your own brokerage.
today I own my own brokerage, Rebel Real Estate.
What made you want to transition to owning your own brokerage with Revel Real Estate, and what does it offer our young agents watching? Why would they jump ship and go to Revel?
So I'm looking for agents that have been in the business for a couple of years. I've sold 3 to 5 million, and I believe in those agents. They have been out in the marketplace, and they've gotten a taste of what it's like. And I want to turn those agents into listing agents and be top producers in the areas that they're excited about being in. And that's different than these other brokerages that really want to elevate the top producers that exist already that are big listing agents. I want all my agents to become powerhouse listing agents, just like I did when I started day one, because listings are king. You can get buyers, are great, but buyers come from your listings, and I want to brand those agents as big players. So you go to Compass, you go to these other companies. They're awesome. They're good, cool companies, but it's under their brand. And with Revel, once you've sold, once you have a lot of sales under your belt, I'd love for you to have your own group within the Revel group. And I want to brand you, and I want you guys to leverage technology the way I do. As you see, my ads are everywhere. Everyone's on their phone.
My God,
better time right now for me to take advantage of that when no one understands digital better than Revel Real Estate. So I'm able to do that and really get their listings out there. So when you go for a listing appointment, you can really shine and outshine that next person. When you explain how you want to differentiate yourself from another agent, we tell you, videos and creative and PR and marketing and digital and all that blows my sellers away, and they're like, sign me up,
But I think that is the difference that I've seen in Revel is the young agents starting out, because you really take that to heart. You take them on listing appointments. You split the listings that you get with them, because for you, it's about getting as many listings and sharing it with your brokerage as possible. So you'll co-list a 50, 30, $20 million listing with a young agent and let them kind of get their feet wet and get out there. So I see everyone at Revel just really happy and motivated, and I hope you guys are staying motivated during this time as well. The agents there are hungry, they are effective, and they've got a good hustle about them. It looks like Ben's connection. Ben, did you move the camera? This is all live. This is it's live. Ben, you look like Chris. Oh, and Ben Bacal has left. So I think we lost him. But last but not least, I was going to ask him one question. Oh, wait, he's back. Oh my God, there's so many people on. Where is Ben? Ben. There he is, requests. Okay. Okay, now we're waiting for Ben. We're live, so you guys bear with us. I love that about this technology. It's like, you can't plan for anything. I'm sure right now the entire connection is blurry and you can't even see my face. Ben is back. Ben, you can't move around.
I know. So I had someone change an appointment time, so I had to be present for that.
Work calls. Well, we're just going to end with one random question for you. We've talked about your sales, we've talked about your brokerage, we've talked about the Rainmakers hustle. And your question is, would you rather win a Grammy or an Oscar?
Would I rather win a Grammy or an Oscar? I would rather win I'm more of I think a Grammy would be kind of cool so I can be around all those musicians.
A Grammy? No, you are a film creator. In fact,
Oh yeah, just kidding. I didn't put together the question. Yeah, an Oscar, an Oscar, an Oscar.
Tell us about.
My videos are not that great. They're cool.
You're in Forbes. You were in Forbes yesterday for a video you created.
Yes, that's right.
Tell us about that.
Well, we decided to bring in these dire times. We decided to make kind of have a little farce, little spoof on Star Wars. So Frederick Uckland and I were dueling it out. I was the dark side, and he was Princess Leia at some point, and we were. It was just a lot of fun, and we got a ton of there's so many eyeballs watching. There's millions of views. It was really awesome, and then obviously we struck gold and Forbes and The Real Deal and who else picked it up?
Architectural Digest picked it up.
Oh, that was cool. That was my second time in Architectural Digest.
So well, I think you did so great with that, and it just hit Forbes yesterday. So you guys can go to Ben Bacal Estates or at Revel Real Estate. You can also go to @the Society Group _ to see this video in its full length. We will be posting all the houses we talked about today on our Instagram. Are you going to post it on your Instagram too, Ben?
Yeah, I think I already did. Jason already did that.
Great.
So that was awesome. And you can go to Revel Real Estate to see all my listing, all of our Revel listings, and benbacal.com as well.
Ben, thank you so much for joining us. Get out there. I know you have showings today. Go kill it. And
thanks, buddy.
All posted.
Thanks for joining, everyone.